Hello and welcome to a beginner's guide to base building. I'm going to build this base and if you watch this video you'll see exactly how it's done. To start with, these are all the things that you're going to need to be able to build a base. You're going to need something to dig with. I prefer a farming hoe or a pickaxe because you can sharpen them. You can use a shovel, but it doesn't repair and it doesn't last long. You will need a pair of pliers. You'll need something to cut with, this or a hacksaw or a hand saw. I prefer the hacksaw because it only takes up 8 space and the hand saw takes up 10. You need some rope, you need wire, you need locks, you need nails. You also need planks and you need wood, which we will go get. But first, let's go get some stuff and make our fence kit. Just go somewhere and gather some long sticks. Gather your long sticks. Take your long stick and break it in half. Combine it with the rope. There we go. And now you have crafted your fence kit. Take your fence kit and it has to be on flat ground. So you can't build up like, see, you can't build like right here. It doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Whenever it gets highlighted white, is somewhere you can build. So you can see how moving up here, it's no longer white. So you basically have to be on flat ground anywhere to build a base. I want to build one in this shed here. It's a pretty popular spot, it's building these sheds. When you do set one up in here, make sure that you put this closer to the door, the right side closer to the door. If you do it like this, when you try to open it with your code lock, you won't be able to get to it because the lock will be on the far side. The lock will be right there, right there where the right side is. So you need it to be more like right here. So just put your fence kit in. And next we'll go gather some logs. Just go to any large tree and you can gather logs. I prefer pine trees because you can get more logs out of them. A little tip, say if you go to a dead pine tree, a little tip is say if you see a dead pine tree, you can get a log from it, but just after one hit, you only get one log, and now this tree is laying on the ground. If you do this a bunch, or just even this one, somebody can come by and see somebody's been building here. So if you want it to be less hidden, or more hidden, don't leave a bunch of chopped trees laying down. So I'll try to avoid the oak trees because they can only get 1 or 2. And any type of dead pine tree, it can only get 1, and then they fall over. And that lets other players know that stuff is being built by and will prompt them to go search. If you come to a healthy pine tree, like one of these right here, and you hit it 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. You look down, you have 2 logs, but the tree is still up. So nobody knows that it's been cut down. Nobody knows there's been any building done there. I highly suggest doing that. There's been so many times I've been running through the woods and found trees failed everywhere, and it's like, oh, someone's been building right here. And I went looking around and indeed find what was being built. Now you take your logs, you put them in your fence kit, get your digging utensil, and there is the frame for where we can build our first fence. Now we need planks. Same thing, go back to the tree and go to a tree that you know you haven't harvested from. Hit it 6 or 7 times. You can just watch it fall and hit the ground. Once you see 2, stop. Alright, there's your 2. pull out your cutting utensil, combine with the wooden plank, or with the logs, and now you've made planks. You can combine them into stacks of 10. Attach your planks to that, your base. Grab your nails, attach the nails. Take out your hatchet. You can use a hammer, but I prefer a hatchet because, as you can see, you can build and cut. As you can already see, my hatchet's getting bad. I think the most important thing you need to build are these sharpening stones. It's like Daisy utensils come from Temu. They do not last long at all. You need lots of sharpening stones, especially if you're going to build a big base. Alright, so here's our first one. Notice how this end is right here where I can still get to it from the outside to open the lock. Can't get out right now because it's not a gate, it's just a fence. If you wanted to make wall after wall, say if it wasn't in a building, you just stack these together and nobody can get out or get in. But to make it a gate, take your wire, attach, take your pliers, find the pump, build gate. And there we go. We have a gate. If you want to complete the gate, and you do want to complete the gate, you're going to need to go get some more planks. So we'll go do, once you have your planks, it takes 8 planks to make the frame. It takes 10 to complete it. Build lower wooden wall. Build upper wooden wall. There. Now we have a fully built gate. And if you don't put wire on it, it's just a wall. And you can just stack them however you want. Then you get a code lock. Set the code. This one is, for some reason, set at 7561. All this loot came from a raid that I done a couple days ago. I'm not going to leave it at 7561. We're going to do 2525 just for this demonstration. Always when you're setting your dial, make sure you're not standing right next to it, because you see to turn the dial is right trigger and to attach is right trigger. And if I was to hit attach, if I was to not know what the combination was, and I hit right trigger right now thinking I'm going to set it, it will attach to the gate, and then you won't know the number. So make sure you stand away from the gate while you're setting your dial. See, now you see how it's still there, but when I click right trigger, it attaches it. It doesn't try to do anything. Now if you want to open it, just go to it and put in the number you just picked. And there we go. The gate is open. Now only you can get in. Now your fence kit stays. So here's what we're going to do, because I want to expand this base out. This next part, you're going to need some more sticks. So just take your fence kit, remove the rope, and now it makes more sticks. Combine them, or just use your sticks max. Now when you combine it, because first it was only 2 sticks, so you can only craft a fence kit. But with 4 or 6, you can craft shelter kits, flagpole kits, and a watchtower kit, which is what we're going to do here. We're going to try to build a watchtower off of this. We're not trying, we're going to. I think that zombie's going to mess it up. Notice how this is how it is, how it would go down right now. You could just press down on the D-pad and rotate it to however you want it. Now you can do that with fences too. Just make sure that you don't accidentally flip it all the way around. Otherwise you'll have that inside of the fence facing outward, and then somebody could just bust it down with a hatchet. That can't be busted down with a hatchet. I'm gonna have to kill that, bury that zombie. Oh, let me show you something. So I want my watchtower to go like this. Notice how I'm not getting the white. The reason I'm not getting the white is because that dead zombie that I had to kill right there. So if you have a tree branch, say if you're cutting in the woods and you knocked over a tree, that is suddenly an impediment that the white, it won't let you build through. So I have to get rid of this zombie body so that it will let me place this fence kit. Same thing goes with trees or any other type of thing you throw on the ground. So just be mindful of that if you're out building in the woods. Plenty of times I've cut down a tree and it landed right in the path of where I was building my fence line. And I had to wait until server reset. Now it is basically right where I want it. Now for the watchtower kit, it's basically the same as the fence kit. I've got logs over here that I collected to save time. Watchtower kit, once you get them placed, you build the base. There you go. Now you need planks. Show you how I'm going to do this. Place your planks into your kit. Insert the nails. You start building here. I gotta do this side. You could do here, but then I wouldn't be able to get into my door. So I'm gonna leave this one open so that this acts as the end of it. See where it says base 1F? That is how you build the roof, which is what we're going to do next. This is going to stay open. This is going to be the end. This doesn't have a wall that can be built, so I'll show you how we're going to fix that here in a minute. Look at build floor and click build floor. Back to where it says attach. Grab your trusty hatchet. Once you get the prompt, build stairs. There we go. Level. Once you come up here, you open the HUD, you'll see it needs 4 more logs to build the second level. Once you get your 4th log, stick it on there. And for this, you actually need the hatchet, not the build utensil. And you click build base. You can see why the hatchet is much better than the hammer. And also, again, why you need sharpening stones. Now we're going to do the same thing here. Again, I'll probably leave this open just because this is blocking it. Building the frames. There we go. Now we have our third level. This is the final level. It can't go no higher. But you can put a roof on it, which we're going to do. You see the hood for here has other things for it. Metal sheets, planks, and nails. That's what you need to build the roof. Yes, I know I said earlier not to cut all the trees down because people know that you've been building, but there's a server reset in just a little bit, so they will respawn and nobody will know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done this. Attach sheet metal to it. Launch your hatchet. And click build roof. That took 6 sheet metal, so I need one more to do the other side. Got to remember which direction it's in. So turn it all the way around so that you know that's the inside of the fence. So notice how I'm trying to build the fence kit. I don't want it to be really close. Watch this. See, that would be the inside. I wanted to get that close. You see that zombie hand? It won't get closer because it's a zombie hand. So, and it won't let me bury the body because the stairs are in the way. So I have to go let them respawn real quick. Respawn, you'll see that I'll be able to get this as close as I want. Little impediment. Take the foundation for this one. Now go gather some more planks. Attach them to your fence. Attach nails. Pull out hatchet. Now you can build a fence here, which will turn into a gate. Again, you just need your wire and pliers. Build gate. Voila. So now in order to get into here, you have to get through 1, 2 gates. But this is still going to be open. You cannot build a wall right here. So what do you do to fix that? A lot more work. Now we're going to build another watchtower just like this right beside it. So I don't have enough sheet metal right now, but we'll get there. Now notice defaultly it does like this. You see where it is open. There's no string going between the whites. That's the side that you want turned to this way. Right there. I'll go gather some more logs. This time, close off the front. Start building your sides. 4 more planks for this. Good. That's the watchtower fence. Oh, let me make sure I got wire in here. Yeah. If I built that before I put my wire, without any wire, I'd be trapped. I'd have to bust my way out. Attach wire, grab plier, build gate. So now there's one gate. There's one gate. This will keep all the good stuff. Had to go out and find some more sheet metal, and that took an ungodly amount of time. And we're just going to finish these walls. For this front section here, we're only going to do the bottom half of the wall. So build lower wall. This way you'll have something to look out of. Otherwise you're just encapsulated and don't have a peak spot. But we'll hopefully eventually find some camouflage netting. And we'll just put camouflage netting there so it's not too obvious that somebody's there. Here is our finished product of our watchtower. And if you want to make it a little bit meaner, take barbed wire, attach it. As you can see, it is here on the front, and it is on the down one. See, there's one for up, and there's one for down. This one's on the down one. And then you just get some pliers, look at it, mount. You can make your base a whole lot meaner looking there. Now that you've got your base up, you're going to need some storage. While tents and barrels and things are optional, this is a building video. So this is how you build planks to add to your storage. You need 8 planks. You don't need a hatchet or anything. Just go to the nails, click combine. I believe it takes about 20 nails. And just a few seconds, voila. Now you have a crate and you can store things in there. I'm going to place mine right here. Another type of storage you can do is improvised shelter. See here, I've laid down the kit for it. Make this the same way you make the watchtower kit, except for you click down the quick watchtower, just click one more to improvised shelter. Very quick. And to it, I'm going to add 50 sticks or long sticks. This tarp or pelts are optional. You don't have to have those. Some right here. Great build. As you see, this holds 100 slots. This is a flagpole kit. It's made the same way you make the watchtower kit, with rope and 4 sticks. I'm going to place it right here next to these rocks because you need a lot of rocks to build this. It's close enough to my base that everything will stay within despawn radius. The point of the watchtower is to keep things from despawning on you. Need a sledgehammer. Build the base. From here, you'll need 6 more logs and a bunch of rocks. For getting the rocks, you're going to want a pickaxe so that you can sharpen it. You can use the sledgehammer, but it doesn't last very long. You're going to need a pickaxe. Being right next to the flagpole really makes this easy because you see they can take 9. It takes a lot of space and they're heavy. So next to the flagpole, I can just do this. Once you got them all down, go right here, click build support. Okay, you need some more rope, some wire, some nails, and 3 more logs. Once you have your wire, your nails, your logs, and your rope, take a hatchet, then build pole. From there, attach your flag. Raise flag. And this is our final base. Took me about 2 hours to do on a official mid-flop server. Partly because I had most of the materials already from the previous wipe or the partial wipe. I had them stored in that truck right there. But also because I built next to trees, next to rocks, next to sticks. So it wasn't long gathering the resources. So 2 hours as a solo. A team can do it really, really quick. So just consider that when you're building your base spot. And if this video taught you anything and you liked it, please like and subscribe.